Morning everyone, welcome back to the channel and thank you as always for tuning into today's video. So today I want to discuss on this minging Saturday morning which trucks are the best trucks on the road in my opinion. And I'm just going to talk about brands. I'm not going to be talking about different types of wagons because I'm just going to talk about the actual manufacturer. So straight off the bat, what's my favourite truck? Scania, all day, every day. After that, I'm going to say Volvo, and then after them you've got like Mercedes, DAF, Iveco, Iveco, however you say it, you know, those sorts of trucks. The reason why I'm going to put Scania and Volvo at the top is every single Scania I've driven, I have never had a problem with it. Every single Volvo I've driven, never had a problem with it, bar one, which was an old skip truck that I was driving with a 4x4 split box, and high range used to just work a lot better than low range, shall we say. The gear linkage or selector that selected between high and low range kept sticking or getting stuck, so I was constantly getting stuck in high range. So instead of setting off in second gear, I was actually setting off in sixth, or trying to. That's a pretty quick way to blow the clutch out the back of your truck. So yeah, that was the only problem I've ever had with a Volvo. When I was doing the multi-drop, I was driving an MAN, and it was literally a dashboard like a Christmas tree every day. You'd be driving down the road, go over a bump and it'd be like ABS malfunction, and then it'd go off. Go over another bump and it'd be like power assisted steering system defected, please take to the workshop. And I'm just like, really? Like literally every day it was bollocking you for something. I wasn't keen on it at all. Same, you know, it didn't feel very planted on the road, and I like my trucks to feel sturdy on the road. You know, if a truck feels skittish on a nice hot dry day, that's not a good truck. And that is why I didn't get along with the MANs, I didn't get along with the DAFs. Iveco, I found the Iveco to be a little bit better than the DAF in terms of drivability, but I just think it was an ugly truck to drive. The interior was really tacky. So in all honesty, the only way I can describe sort of the, I won't say the budget trucks, but like the DAFs and the, you know, the MANs and the Ivecos, you know, in comparison to a Scania or a Volvo, it's like going to buy a new van and then looking at a Volkswagen Transporter, you know, like an R-Line, you know, it's got all a nice interior, you know, and then going next door to Citroën and looking at a Berlingo. That tacky French feel, you know, that is what you get off the DAFs, off the MANs. They just, you know, it's like getting in a Fiat Punto after you've been driving a Bentley all day. Excuse me. Every Scania P series I've been in, obviously pretty much the same cab. They're really well set out, you know, the dash kind of comes around the driver. Everything's really well labelled and easy to see. You know, all the buttons, your heated mirrors on a big button, your horn switch to switch between your air horns and your normal horns on a big switch. Everything is really well labelled. And do you know what? I absolutely love driving these trucks. Scanias, they just feel really well put together. You know, there's a reason they're called King of the Road, because in my opinion they are. These trucks are absolutely stunning to drive. You know, when I'm empty, even when I've got a bin on the back, you know, going down lanes in Macclesfield, Congleton, things like that, pretty narrow lanes. Wow. Oh, Mustang. Sorry, I had to do it. Mustang. Oh, yes. Oh, God. That was worth a bollocking if I get one for moving my phone. Oh, wow. Sorry. I'm sure there's a few petrol heads on here that will appreciate that. Yeah, I think there's some kind of car show going on. I've seen a right load of bloody cars like that yesterday as well. Chevy C10, Chevy Stepside, seen a Dodge Challenger RT, seen a Dodge Charger 1968. Oh my God. And it just makes you think, doesn't it, like, where are all these cars hidden? you know, come down Macclesfield on a Saturday and it's nice weather, you see all sorts, you know, Cadillac, Coupe de Villes, whatever they are, you see all sorts. And I just think, like, all these gems in this country. But one day, guys, I will have a Dodge Charger, 1968 or a 1969. I will have a Dodge Charger, even if I have to buy a rusted out shell, rebuild it from scratch. I will do that. Anyway, back onto the trucks now. I've got excited like a little girl over some V8s. Well, yeah, it is. Honestly, you will totally get where I'm coming from. If, let's say, for example, now you're doing multi-drop and you sat here watching me and you're like, well, I drive a DAF and I like it. If you know, let's say you've never drove a Scania. If I put you in a Scania tomorrow, so do the same round but in a Scania, you would come back with the biggest grin on your face going, because these trucks are absolutely stunning to drive. They really are. You know, they're very reliable. They've got good power. What more can you ask for from a truck? You know, every Scania I've had, whether it's been a top of the range one or just your everyday tipper, your everyday P-series, you know, they've always had heated seats. They've always had a decent stereo system in them. You know, personally, I love my music. If you see me getting about on the road, 9 times out of 10, I'm not being mithered on my phone by someone. I'm absolutely pumping the tunes out. Depending what kind of mood I'm in, depends on what kind of tunes I'm pumping out. But that's what I mean, it's just everything, it's just creature comforts, you know, cruise control, heated seats, really good aircon, you know, loads of storage, and it's just a really nice place to be. Even the colour of the interior in them is always a dark interior. The lightest bit of this truck inside is this back panel behind me, and it's like a sort of really light grey off-white sort of colour. Everything else is dark grey, and it just makes it like a nice place to sit. You know, it's a nice place to be. When I've had DAFs and MANs in the past, they've been sort of a creamy coloured dash or really light grey, really grainy, cheap sort of feeling plastic. You know, everything on them feels cheap. The gear selector, the handbrake, just everything just feels tacky. Whereas in the Scania, my opinion, everything feels mint. So, to sum it all up, if I was going to be looking, you know, at a company and looking at the fleet, if they've got loads of Scanias or loads of Volvos or loads of Scanias and loads of Volvos, I would definitely be looking at getting a job there. You know, don't just go to a job because it's got good trucks. Obviously, you want to make sure the driver benefits are good. You know, you want to make sure the wages are negotiable. You want to make sure that it's paid by the hour if you can, unless the salary's, you know, that good you can't argue with it. But honestly, if any of you lads or girls, you know, you've drove MANs, things like that, and you've not drove a Scania, honestly, if you go out in a Scania or a Volvo, you will instantly feel and see a big difference. You know, these trucks have been around for a very, very long time. You know, gone are the days where you'd see Fodens on the road. Gone are the days where you see Seddon Atkinsons and Scammels and things like that. Nowadays, it's literally all the same trucks you see. Volvo, Scania, you know, Mercedes. You know, I expected a lot better from Mercedes, to be honest, because the Mercedes-Benz, you know, I don't mind the little Artigos. I think they're belting little trucks for what they are. If you're using it for a 7.5 tonner or a tiny little mini skip truck, I think they're a belting little truck. When I get in the Arctics, yeah, they look nice inside, but again, they just don't drive as well as the competition. You know, the Scanias, the Volvos, they just do not drive anything like them. You know, Renaults, I've never actually drove a Renault, but I'm not keen on them. Again, because when I think of Renault, I think of Fiat, I think of French tack, you know, I think of cheap. And I'm not keen on cheap, you know. If I'm driving this thing all week, I think that's part of the, you know, I think that's part of the job as well, like having a nice wagon. If you've got a nice reliable wagon, you've got a good tool to do your job with, you know. If you've got a cheap tacky wagon and you're one of them drivers that loves nice trucks, of course it's a bit like, bloody hell, you know, look at the state of this I'm driving. So in my opinion, you know, Scania and Volvo are just definitely right up there with the top dogs. I wouldn't drive anything else, you know. From now, you know, from what I've drove, from the experience I've had, Scania and Volvo, I would not drive anything else. So I hope that clears a few things up for you guys. You know, yeah, a lot of DAFs are pretty decent wagons, to be fair, but again, pretty tacky inside. Not keen on them. So next time you're in a truck stop, or you know, you go to a truck show, honestly, have a look inside the Scanias, have a look inside the DAFs. If there's any Ivecos there, have a look in them and you will see what I mean. So yeah, I'll catch you on the next one, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Only a quick one for you. But yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.